Hello everyone, welcome back to Bible Force. Today we're diving deep into a significant topic, the 7 deadly sins. While these sins aren't explicitly mentioned in the Bible, their roots are deeply embedded in Scripture. Each sin presents a unique challenge to our spiritual journey, and understanding them can help us grow in our faith and character. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's explore how these sins affect our lives and how we can overcome them. The 7 deadly sins are pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. Each one of these sins represents a fundamental moral failing that can lead us away from a virtuous life and a closer relationship with God. They're not just isolated issues, they often interconnect, creating a cycle that can be difficult to break. By examining these sins, we can reflect on our own actions and find ways to nurture a deeper relationship with God. Throughout this video, we'll explore what each sin means, how it manifests in our lives, and what Scripture teaches us about overcoming these challenges. This journey of self-reflection is essential for our spiritual growth. Let's start with pride, often considered the root of all sins. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 18 stated that pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. This verse highlights how pride can lead to our downfall. When we become prideful, we tend to overestimate our importance, alienating ourselves from others and from God. This inflated self-view can create barriers that separate us from meaningful relationships. To combat pride, we must practice humility. Philippians chapter 2 verse 3 encourages us to do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Embracing humility allows us to see our own limitations and recognize the value in others. It opens our hearts to authentic connections, fostering an environment where love and support can flourish. Consider the example of Jesus, who, despite being the Son of God, washed the feet of his disciples. This act of humility teaches us that true greatness lies in serving others, not in exalting ourselves. By practicing humility, we align ourselves with God's purpose and can cultivate a spirit of gratitude rather than entitlement. Next, we turn to greed. In 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10 we read that for the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Greed can lead us to prioritize material wealth over our spiritual health. When we focus solely on accumulating possessions, we can make choices that ultimately harm ourselves and others. Jesus warns against this mindset in Luke chapter 12 verse 15, stating that take care and be on your guard against all covetousness, for one's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. This is a crucial reminder that true fulfillment does not come from what we own, but from our relationships and acts of kindness. Greed often manifests as an insatiable desire for more and more money, more possessions, more power. This relentless pursuit can lead to a life of discontent and dissatisfaction. Instead of finding joy in what we have, we become consumed by what we lack. To combat greed, we should practice generosity. Acts of giving can shift our focus from accumulating wealth to sharing our blessings with others. As Proverbs chapter 11 verse 25 stated that whoever brings blessing will be enriched, and one who waters will himself be watered. Now let's address another deadly sin, which is lust. In Matthew chapter 5 verse 28, Jesus teaches us, "But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lustful intent has already committed adultery with her in his heart." Lust can distort our understanding of love, reducing meaningful relationships to mere physical attraction. This objectification can lead to a host of negative consequences, both for ourselves and for others. To overcome lust, we must focus on purity. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 3 tells us that for this is the will of God, your sanctification, that you abstain from sexual immorality. Building relationships grounded in respect and love is essential for a fulfilling life. Instead of seeking instant gratification, we can cultivate deeper emotional and spiritual connections with others. Consider the importance of setting boundaries in our relationships. Establishing clear boundaries can help protect us from temptation and encourage us to pursue healthy interactions. By valuing purity and integrity, we honor ourselves and others, paving the way for genuine connections. Next up is envy. Galatians chapter 5 verse 26 cautions us, "Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, envying one another." Envy can poison our hearts, leading to dissatisfaction with our own lives while longing for what others have. This sin can create a cycle of negativity that affects our mental and spiritual well-being. To combat envy, we should cultivate a spirit of gratitude. Philippians chapter 4 verse 11 reminds us, "Not that I am speaking of being in need, for I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content." Practicing gratitude helps us appreciate our unique journey and fosters a positive mindset. One effective way to combat envy is to celebrate the successes of others. When we genuinely rejoice in another person's achievements, we create a culture of support and love. This shift in perspective can help us focus on our own blessings and aspirations rather than comparing ourselves to others. Next up, gluttony. Proverbs chapter 23 verse 20-21 advises, "Do not be among winebibbers or among gluttonous eaters of meat." Gluttony refers to overindulgence, not just in food, but in various aspects of life. This sin can manifest in our consumption of entertainment, work, and even our relationships. Moderation is key to overcoming gluttony. In 1 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 31 teaches us, "So whether you eat or drink, or whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God." Practicing moderation helps us maintain balance and health both physically and spiritually. We can apply the principle of moderation in our daily lives by being mindful of our consumption habits. This might mean enjoying a slice of cake at a celebration but not indulging excessively. By making conscious choices, we honor our bodies and create space for spiritual growth. Next up is wrath. In James chapter 1 verse 20, stated that for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. Wrath can lead to destructive behaviors that harm ourselves and our relationships. When we allow anger to take control, we risk saying or doing things we may regret. To manage our anger, Ephesians chapter 4 verse 26 teaches us that in your anger do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry. Learning to resolve conflicts peacefully is crucial for maintaining harmony in our lives. Taking a moment to breathe and reflect before reacting can prevent escalation and allow for thoughtful responses. Practicing forgiveness is another vital tool in overcoming wrath. When we forgive, we release the hold that anger has on us, allowing healing to take place. Colossians chapter 3 verse 13 encourages us, "Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." Finally, let's address sloth. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 15 warns us that laziness casts one into a deep sleep, and an idle person will suffer hunger. Sloth can hinder our productivity and lead to missed opportunities. This sin often manifests as procrastination or a lack of motivation to pursue our goals and passions. Engaging in our passions is essential for a fulfilling life. Colossians chapter 3 verse 23 encourages us, "Whatever you do, work heartily, as for the Lord and not for men." Embracing diligence allows us to fulfill our God-given potential. When we put our hearts into our work, we not only honor ourselves but also serve our communities and families. To combat sloth, we can set small, achievable goals. Breaking down larger tasks into manageable steps can help us stay motivated and accountable. Celebrating our accomplishments, no matter how small, reinforces our commitment to progress. In conclusion, the 7 deadly sins serve as vital reminders to examine our hearts and actions. By recognizing these vices, we can work towards living more virtuous lives. Remember, the journey of faith. If you found this video insightful, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on which of these sins resonates with you the most. Acknowledging our struggles is the first step toward growth. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share in the comments below your insights or personal experiences related to the 7 deadly sins. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content that encourages personal growth and spiritual exploration. If you think someone else could benefit from this discussion, share this video with them. Until next time, God bless you.